Welcome back to another episode of the Friday Five. Baseball season is almost over. 3 more games left. Yanks are tied for first. Let's see if they can grab that number 1 seed. And the Giants are terrible, but Jackson Dart is going in to start. So we will see if that changes things. Probably not. All right, let's jump into mortgage talk. Number 1, mortgage rates, national averages from Mortgage News Daily. VA 30-year fixed 6.1%, FHA 30-year fixed 6.09%, conventional 30-year fixed 6.38%, conventional 15-year fixed 5.9%, and conventional 7-year ARM 5.82%. National averages from Mortgage News Daily. Number 2, one of the biggest questions I get from customers is what actually makes up my credit score? So here are the 5 different components that make up your credit score when you're applying for a mortgage. The scoring models can vary a little bit depending on the type of credit you are applying for. So for the mortgage FICO Classic model, 35% of the score is payment history. So making payments on time is a single most important factor in your score. One late payment can make a huge difference, so make sure you're staying on time with everything. Then 30% is amounts owed. This is mainly your credit card balances compared to your limits. Lower the balances, and the lower the balance to limit ratio, the better. 15% of your credit score is the length of your credit history. So the longer that you've had accounts open, the stronger your score. Then 10% is new credit and inquiries. So every time you open a new account or apply for credit, it does have a small impact on your scores. And finally, 10% is credit mix. So lenders like to see a healthy mix of credit cards, loans, and maybe a mortgage or 2. So if you want to boost your score for a home purchase, focus on making your payments on time, keeping your credit card balances as low as possible, and don't have a bunch of inquiries leading up to it. Number 3, did you know that the IRS has a 60-day IRA rollover rule? And that might not mean what you think it does. So here's how it works. If you take money out of an IRA, you have 60 days to put it back into the same or another IRA. And if you do, it's like the withdrawal never happened. There's no taxes, no penalties. So here's the catch though. You can only do 1 rollover per 12 months, not per account, but per person. So make sure you're cautious that you don't do more than 1 in a 12-month period. So why is this important? Well, we're in an environment where lots of people are trying to buy their new house prior to selling their current house. And this can be kind of a short-term way to have some funds for down payment and closing costs on your new house. And then you sell your current house after you buy your new house, and you take the proceeds that you make from selling your current house and you put it back in to the IRA, and then you don't have any distribution that's taxable, and all is cool in the world if you do that. Be careful though, because you only have 60 days, and gosh, if you got to day 61 and you took $200,000 out of an IRA, that could be painful from a tax perspective. Number 4, if you listen to Dave Ramsey, he will tell you that you should pay off all your debt so you don't have any credit score, and although I really like Dave Ramsey, 100% disagree with that. Here's why. If you have no credit score, you're going to fall into a conversation where you have to do a manual underwrite with non-traditional credit to obtain a mortgage. And it just is going to create a situation where you have to provide a whole lot more documentation. You have to provide non-traditional credit history trade lines, which would be like utility bills, car insurance, paying that on time for 12 months, cell phone for 12 months. And it just, in my opinion, is unnecessary. If you do pay off all of your debt, I'm all for that. Even if you pay off mortgage included, but keep 1 credit card active. Use it once a month for gas. Pay it off at the end of every month. And guess what? You will maintain a great credit score, and you won't have to go through all of that aggravation of doing a manual underwrite with non-traditional mortgage credit. Number 5, the idea of the week. I'm borrowing this from James Clear, the recent newsletter that he sent out. In the newsletter, he said, I recently asked a friend if he wanted to hit a certain business milestone, and he said, that depends. What does it cost me? Writing down your goals is easy. Everyone wants the glamorous result. What really matters is whether you want the costs associated with it, the money, the time, the trade-offs. Don't merely ask yourself, what do I want to achieve, but also what am I willing to pay? So this really resonates with me, especially when it comes to business and how that could affect family. Or even in the past, I've done a couple long-distance triathlons, and I've kind of decided I'm not going to do that distance of a triathlon again because a trade-off in how much time I have to spend training is kind of not fair to my family, and it takes me away from them more than I want to. So I think it's a great way to look at things. Set goals, but you need to assess what are the trade-offs or what are the costs going to be to achieve that goal, and make sure that if you're going to sign up for the goal, you are willing to make those trade-offs. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you agree, maybe comment. If you disagree, comment away. Love healthy discourse. And if I can help you in any way, please reach out.